Okay. Okay. Alright guys, so today we want to learn some of the basic technical analysis that every beginner trader needs to learn. And not only a beginner trader, but also, I don't like calling them intermediate, because if you're an intermediate then you know some basic things. Yeah, so without wasting time guys, I like to start trades. Oh, I only have like a few minutes before I get to work. So okay, guys, so this is AUDGPY. This is the pair that I really want to analyze today. But before I can start, I hope I have all my tools here. I think I have all my tools, so I'm just gonna expand this, but I'll be okay. So guys, this is our weekly, no, this is our daily time frame for AUDGPY. So currently in the market, this is where we are at, and this is the lowest level that we had like last week. And there is something interesting about our lowest level at the moment. So this level over here, if you pay attention to the previous occurrence in the past, when you look at what was happening in 2022, 2021, this happened to be a floor, or it was we always have the demand and supply zones. Yeah, so this was initially a supply zone for AUDGPY, but then we noticed that with time it turned into a demand zone. Yeah, this zone over here. Yeah, so basically I'm starting with drawing the support and resistance. So right now what I'm trying to look at, we've seen what happened in the past, and right now what is currently happening in the market, right? So you have to mark those two parts where you feel like right now the market is at this zone, and what you expect will happen in the near future. So when you mark this zone, you notice that this, even when you come back right here, you notice that it has been like a zone where we see like some sort of a pullback, like the market comes, tests the zone, there is some sort of resistance around the zone, and then we see like a push to the upside before actually moving to the downside. Yeah, so this was the past. So what happened with AUDGPY, this is what happened before. AUDGPY, yeah, so this is where we are, right? So this is our 1 day time frame, and that's why you can see all these. So let me just delete these drawings. I don't want to confuse anyone. Okay, so this was our daily time frame. So I want to go to 4 hours time frame, because on a daily time frame we had our highest levels around 95 over there. So this is our 4-hour time frame. And when you look at the market in 4 hours time frame, yeah, initially this is where we saw like some sort of resistance around this zone, and then the market decided to move to the upside up until this level 93, yeah, before it actually started moving to the downside. So the best thing to always do while marking your analysis, yeah, so initially this was the movement that we had before like an actual breakout. So I'm just going to extend this. Guys, remember this was a trend within a trend, yeah. So most traders will always tell you, most of the traders will always tell you to pay attention to the last two, if you want to catch like a breaking trend earlier rather than wait for it to come to this level. This is the general trend that was broken over here. But if you want to catch a trend earlier, then you have to pay attention to the last 2 or 3 touches before a breakout. Like what I mean right now is this. So the market came and we saw this sort of movement, yeah. This is the kind of movement that we actually saw, yeah. So if you are trading this market earlier on, if you are waiting for a breakout, because initially this was our, let me mark this as our supply zone. It broke out of that zone, came here, and this was our supply zone. So guys, this was our supply zone. And I can see Maleficent Bronte. Hello Rose, this is my first time watching your live analysis. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Please be watching. And yeah, so what happens is that if you want to catch like a trend, because at this point initially, I always try and advise people, before you enter the market, try and find the historical part of it. Like don't go to like 2018 unless you're trading gold, yeah. But before you know what is actually happening in the market, try and find what was happening before. That way it will be so easier for you to mark like some of the key support zones and some of the key resistance zones. So it will be something so easier for you. So okay, so this is what was happening before the market came down. There was this push to the downside, and then we saw this push to the upside. So you need to be paying attention to what happens, like some of the key resistance zones. Like you can see the market coming down to this level, and then there was some resistance around this zone. I don't want to draw a lot of lines because it will confuse a lot of people, but I'll be deleting, yeah. So we see the market came down to this level. Remember, it was on a downward trend, yeah. And then after getting to this point, it went up. There was some sort of resistance, so it came down to this level, and then there was a push to the upside, which indicated like around this zone there was a lot of buyers. And if you're keen enough around this zone, yeah, you notice also when you come to this point where the market came down to test this level, the buyers were so many around this point, and they were able to push the market to the upside, yeah. So the buying orders, so you can even call it the buying orders. Just try to make Forex as simple as possible. You don't have to kill yourself with all these difficult words or anything. Just try and understand it as basic as you can. It's possible. It's something that is possible, okay? Don't force yourself with terminologies that you cannot actually understand, yeah. So here, let me teach you something. I can see like something that I don't want to avoid. So you can see there is a gap. This is, you'll notice that the market was there was an opening around this zone, and then there was a push to the upside, causing another gap over here. So whenever you see a gap in the market, just be sure that the market will always come back to fill that gap, to fill this void within the 2 candlestick. The market will always have to come back. So you have to find the key zones where you'll see the market coming down. Yeah. So around this zone also we saw like some sort of resistance where sellers were pushing the market to the downside, and this happened. So while marking your support and resistance, support and resistance, yeah, you need to pay attention to the bodies and the wick of the candlestick, and even when trying to note some of the reversals, like there are some candlesticks that when you see them, you know that there is a reversal around that zone. It's always a reversal when it is at the support and resistance zones. Yeah, always mark because you can find like this candlestick over here. If it was around this zone over here, it was a clear indication that there was going to be a reversal. Yeah, like this one over here indicates a reversal. But if it happens where there is no like support and resistance, there is nothing in the market, you just know that that is just a false alarm. Yeah, always just try and pay attention to that, and you will always find yourself making it in the market. Yeah, so always mark some of the key points. That is one of the things that I wanted to tell you. So let me just delete this. I think most of you have got you've gotten what I was trying to say. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so catching the trend. So this is what happened. This was an upward trend. You could draw like another line. You could draw like another line over here. It would have suggested like an upward trend. Yeah, but then we noticed that there was a breakout around this zone. So if you follow like a long-term trend, you would have caught this breakout around this zone, which you wouldn't have made like a lot of profits. Yeah, but if you're smart enough, you all know that there is always a trend within a trend. Yeah, so this was our trend, an upward trend. Yeah, let me just try and zoom this in. This was our upward trend. Let's say that if we draw this way, it was just an upward trend on its own. So it was like an upward trend. So if at all the market was not going to break out of this zone, it was going to proceed to this level, around level 95, which we had marked as our highest level. Most of the traders literally were waiting for this market to come around this zone, but the market did not play as per our analysis. Yeah, so there is always a trend within a trend. So whenever there is a trend, you'll notice that at times you'll find there is like a range between a trend, stuff like that. So this is an upward trend, and you could notice like when you come over here, let me just try and remove this one because now it's not doing anyone any justice right now. I'll be deleting these drawings over and over so that my chart won't be so confusing to some. You can see like I'm deleting some of the drawings. These are some of the analysis that I had before. So you notice like this is an upward trend, and we also within this upward trend we have like downward trend within it, and we also have another upward trend within it. Remember, overall this was the trend, upward trend. Yeah, but in between it we can still find like there is an upward trend which kind of forms like a swing, and yeah, zigzag. Yeah, moving kwenda juu kuja chini. So this is what we have. Yeah, and within it you can also see like patterns, stuff like that. Just be keen, and even within the trends you will always find a ranging market, right? You'll always find a ranging market within a trend. That's funny to some of you, but yeah, it's always there. Like here, this is just a ranging market. if you draw this line over here and then you paste this, you just draw another line. Let's just use this as our support. You can see like the market was ranging between these 2 points, yeah, before another breakout to the downside. There is always this, so you can take advantage of the patterns within a pattern and make profits from it. The market might range even within a trend, yeah, so it's just up to you to make the best out of it. Yeah, so the market came back up and then there was a breakout. So even in a trend, guys, even in a trend, there is always a trend that will give you like a early entry in the market and the exit. Yeah, so you can see like this one, if we were following this trend, then we would have entered the market around this breakout over here, which we would have waited for the market to come down to this level, retest, and then enter the market, because that is always the rule of trading. If you want to avoid being your stop loss being taken out or even entering the wrong breakout, you need to wait for the market to retest the zones that it broke out from. Yeah, but if you are keen enough to analyze this chart the way I was here, like you draw your trend but then pay attention to the continuing trend, like trends within a trend. Yeah, so you can see that this was a trend within this overall trend, and then we noticed that there was a breakout around this zone, and then the market came back. Guys, if you're keen, the market came back. Let me just try and draw this with an arc. But I want to, let me just try and make it this way. Okay, so you notice that the market broke out from here, came back, came down, and again it came back. Now this time it was retesting it for the second time, because the first retest was around this point over here. It was retesting it for the second time before it decided to move to the downside. Yeah, so if you are trading this market, then you would have entered around here, and if you had entered around here, you will be panicking because the market went right back before actually moving to the downside. Yeah, but if you entered around this zone over here, you would have been safe. Yeah, you would have been patient enough and now waiting to take your profits around this zone. Yeah, so when you draw your trends within a trends, there is a high chance of you making more profits or even getting the market at an early age. This is where you see like most people entering the market and you see them as sniper entries. Yeah, sniper entries, and you start feeling like, wow, I wish I would be like this person. Yeah, so yes, you can be. You just need to do that and you'll be safe. Yeah, so if you are waiting for the overall trend, this is where you would have entered the market on this second candlestick around 89. So 89 to right now the market is at 87. Not a lot of profits. You can say it's a lot. Yeah, but if you had entered here, you would have made like a ton of money right now. Okay, so overall this is our trend, and guys, overall the market is on a Audi GPY has been on a downward trend overall, because you notice this was a trend within a trend. If you go back, you notice that Audi GPY has been selling because it was an upward trend, but it decided to break out around this zone over here and it started selling. Yeah, so it's been creating lower lows and lower highs. You can see this is a lower high, this was a lower high, and this one was just the general head. Yeah, it has been creating lower lows and lower highs. So right now the market decided to come down to this level, and of course what you expect in the market is to see like some pullback, some zones being retested, it creating another new higher low or lower high, stuff like that. So we've seen some sort of resistance around this zone over here. Remember, if it had come to this level, 87 level, 87,500, let me just mark the body. Yeah, 87,600. Yeah, if the market had come to this point and then we saw like some sort of resistance or this kind of movement, it came down to this zone and then we saw like this sort of movement, then we would have expected it to move to the upside, right? We would have expected this kind of a movement, but that never really happened. So this is what literally happened. There was a breakout around this zone. So guys, what I told you earlier on, there was a breakout, and if you pay attention, remember I just drew this on the body. Told you whenever you're drawing this, you need to draw the body and the wick, stuff like that. Literally even drew it at the wrong level. Yeah, so this is the lowest point that we've had. Just want to get the body first. This was the lowest level that the market came to. The market came to this level over here, right? And you can see what happened. Like yesterday was Friday. Yesterday the Audi GPY was kind of bullish for quite some time. You can see this candlestick is for 4 hours. Like for the last 4 hours the market was bullish. Yeah, so the market came down and you can see like it retested this zone, forming this candlestick over here. So what we're waiting to see come tomorrow is to see if we'll find like some resistance around this zone, and the market, if the market will resist this zone, then we'll have this. I expect to see like some bounce back around this zone before we see like the market bouncing either to the upside or to the downside, because for me there was some orders around this zone that had to be taken out, that was left initially around this zone, and I will share with you the indicators that you can use to help you know to help you find out the type of orders or stuff like that you need to, where you need to pay attention to, where there's some liquidity, there's some orders left, stuff like that. So around this zone initially there was let me see if I can open that indicator so that I can show you. This is the indicator. So around this zone there were some orders left, so that indicator can clearly show you some of the points where there is some orders left. And whenever you look at the orders or wherever those orders are, you'll notice that the market will always try to come down to that point. So these are the orders. You can see even we still have some orders left around this zone. Yeah, so what I'll be expecting, if at all the market, these are the orders, and you can see like Audi GPY, I don't know why they left the orders, because Audi GPY always has this habit of moving and then coming back to collect the orders before actually proceeding with its trend. But this time it just had like a strong push to the upside that it did not collect some of the orders left over there. Yeah, so if the market decides to move down, then these are some of the orders that this zone is one of the zones that I'll be paying or watching out for. Yeah, this zone. I've just put a mark on it. Okay, so let's check if there are some orders left. Damn, that was a long way back. That was a long way back. Alright, so this is our, yeah. So if at all, guys, if at all the market decides to come up or move up, this is where I'll be expecting to see it come to this zone over here. So it will be collecting these orders that you see over here. So if it is supposed to retain or even to keep moving lower, it will have to push up to collect these orders, the sell orders that are remaining around this zone and then proceed to the downside. But if at all it does not break out of that zone, then we'll be moving downwards to this level. Let me just delete this so that I don't confuse you. So if it decides, remember this is how the market is right now, if it decides to come, let's say like this, because it will never just break just mara moja hivo going to the downside. So if it decides to come down, this is one of the zones that I'll be waiting to see it stop to. And then once it stops at this point, it will have collected the orders that I've just showed you. Yeah, once it has collected it, I'll expect some upward movement. Yeah, so guys, you have to remember that this is one of the pairs that most people are looking for buying positions or buying opportunities on Audi GPY. So in as much as because the selling phase is almost over, literally the selling phase is almost over. Yeah, it has been selling for quite some time, for a long time. And yes, Audi GPY, it has a history of dropping to 60s huko, but we cannot also avoid the buying opportunities. Remember, it has been selling this time, it has created like another lower low. It needs to create another higher high or higher low, higher high or even higher low. So if it can create like another higher low that will be lower than the previous one, then we'll be expecting a push to the, if it's a higher low, we'll be expecting another push to the downside. But if it decides to create a higher high, then guys, these are the zones I'll be waiting to take my profits. Yeah, and the best thing with the indicator that I just shared with you, it kinda shows you some, you can see like this place where there is the bearish OB, that shows that there is like a lot of sellers around the zone. Like this is one of the zones that there is a lot of resistance or supply zone from this point. So it's really difficult for you, it will be difficult, like you'll see like some sort of resistance around this zone. The market will be coming to this point and actually pushing to the downside. So that is what this actually means. But guys, even better, yeah, so that is just general analysis. You can draw your analysis if you feel like. It's a downward trend right now, downward ever since it broke out of this zone over here. It has been on a downward trend. You can easily draw that by taking your trend lines, just doing this. Let me just push this, drop out. You can just draw your trend lines this way, and you notice that it's been on a downward trend, yeah, to this zone. Doesn't have to be perfect, and then you do the same on this level if you like drawing trend lines. But now I want to show you something that will make your work easier if you're that person who don't really like, or you don't know how to draw your trend lines, you don't know how to analyze your markets. Okay, so this is what we have right now. This is what we have. And so if the market is to move up, this is what we have. So there is trend within trends, obvious. You can see this was like a ranging market, a breakout coming down. There is a push to this level. We're waiting to see the reaction. So guys, as the market will be opening tomorrow or even today at night, what you'll need to do, don't be in a hurry to enter the market. Just wait and see the reaction around this zone. Remember, this zone, I'm not like really in any worry when it comes to buys, because this zone over here has shown over like a lot of time that there is a lot of buys around this zone. We've seen like buyers pushing the market to the upside. but you can never tell if each will do the same. So what I'll be expecting is to see the market come to this level, and I'll be waiting for the candlestick that will be formed and see the kind of movement that you're going to have in this market. So if at all it creates a movement that indicates that we are on a downward trend, then sorry guys, then this is the point that I'll be looking for over here, or this one over here. So these will be my take profits. Yeah, it will be a short sell. If it's going to sell, it will be a short sell, but if it's going to buy, then these will be my zone. Yeah, this will be around this 87, 88 will be my zone. But if it dare breaks out of this zone, I'll be waiting for a retest to this line over here, and then a push to the upside. Yeah, okay. So what were indicators? Those who like using indicators. Yeah, so let's look at some of the best indicators that we have that you can actually use to analyze your market. Yeah, so that you don't miss out. So for me, I use some of the indicators that use the smart money concept, and yeah, so that is just what you just saw initially. So there is this smart money concept by Lux Algo. If you don't know how to get your indicators, click on this bar over here, come here, search for smart money concept, and you can see we have the one with Lux Algo, but I like to combine it with smart money concept by Zayman. So these two kind of works perfectly for me, so you can select both of them if you like them. And also Instruction Trading Lab, these will show you the orders. But okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, whenever we are trading, so let me now talk about the smart money concept. I know most of you have heard of the chalk and the boss, or BOS as some of you call it. Yeah, so the chalk, most probably chalk always happens when there is like the market is, let's say it was moving up. Let me just start with this so that you can understand. Yeah, and it's not a guarantee that it will always be right or anything of the sort. It's not a guarantee. Yeah, so because you can see like right now we've had like change of characters multiple times, but what most of you have been taught about the change of characters, let me hide this first, then I draw for you so that you can understand what I mean by change of character. So I'll just draw like a trend line, let's say. The change of character should help you know when there is a reversal. Same with the BOS, that is the break of structure. Yeah, so the change of character, let's say this was our market, it was moving up, we're on an upward trend. Remember, it should be forming like higher highs. Yeah, higher highs, lower lows, and then it gets to this point. Guys, I'll have to take this to this point. Let me just maximize my chart. Okay, so let me delete this and start fresh. Okay, so let's say that this was our trend. Yeah, so we've seen the market coming right down. Let me start with the downward trend. So this is what was happening in the market. Then it gets to a point, it starts consolidating within these two zones over here. maybe just consolidates, and then on the third consolidation you see like this one forming like a higher movement than this over here, and then it starts forming like another upward trend. No, it looks funny. Okay, so let's say, yeah, so what the chalk change of character means over here, we will have like a change of character around this zone over here. Why? The reason why we'll have the change of character around this zone, remember the market was on a downward trend, yeah, but then the market, this was this was the current lower low, yeah, the lower low. Let me just type it. Should I put it in caps? Let me just put it in caps. So we had our lower low at around that point, yeah, around this point over here. So you notice that the next level, the next peak that we have, the highest level that we have, has taken out this lower low. So that will create something called change of character. That is where the change of character will come in, because now at this point over here we no longer have like a lower low, but we've started having a higher lower high, sorry, where lower high, yeah, it's no longer a lower low but a lower high or a higher low. No, it's not. No, it's a higher high. What? Got me confusing, you people. It started for me like a higher high. Okay, yeah, so this one should be a lower high. Nobody is even texting me this so that I rectify it. Lower lows should be this level, yeah, so that's the lower low, this is the lower high. It was just a small confusion. The lower high, yeah, so okay, so guys, this was a lower high over here, but you can see like the market, this next high was higher than the previous high, making a change of character over here. So this one over here, this will act as a change of character. So that's why you'll find like most people writing something of the sort around that kind of zones, yeah. So this is a change of character. So once the change of character has happened, yeah, the market will always come down to retest around that zone, or even it is not necessarily that it will come back to that level, but it will retest, it will come down before it proceeds to the upside. So if you're trading this market and you missed out on entering on this breakout over here, you can just wait for a retest and then enter the market, take your buy positions. After confirmation, you need to check a lot of confirmation. You cannot just rely on the change of character and stuff like that. So over here, so this is where now we are going to start having something called the BOS, yeah, the BOS, break of structure, because now we are already in a trend, yeah. Change of character, we've broken the trend. This was a downward trend, we've broken out of the trend. Now we have a change of character, the market is reversing to a different direction. So once this happens, the next thing that we're going to have here is the BOS. The BOS base is the break of structure. Some of them will call it the BMS, which is the break of market structure, yeah. So you'll always find those terms, BOS or BMS, so they're still just the same thing. So you'll find something of the sort around this zone. So this kind of shows like this high also has been taken out. We have another high, it has broken the structure, so we are moving out. And the more we keep moving up on an upward trend, you will notice like we'll be having this BOS whenever there is a swing in the market. Yeah, whenever we have a swing like this, an upward, it's moving up, it's swinging to the lower side, it's swinging, you will notice that we have a BOS on the upside. Yeah, same to the downward trend. So if we were in an upward trend, let's say, and then the market decides to break the structure and create a reversal, you will notice that you will get like a change of character. And the more it continues to trend on the downside, you will notice that you will be having like the break of structure or the break of market structure. So that generally is what the chalk and the BOS literally means. Yeah, so let me just delete this. I think most of you have understood what I was trying to teach. I hope you've understood. If you haven't, I don't know how to do it now, but maybe I can just repeat it. I'll just have to create another video talking about it. So I haven't really used these trend lines, but you all know what trend lines are. So okay, so now let's jump into our best indicators. Basically, these are the indicators that I use if I have to use the indicators if I'm not sure about the market. Yeah, so this is the reason why I was telling you not every time you will get like a change of character you need to jump in. This is why I told you that you have to wait for the market to come right back, test, and then once it has tested and you've seen like you've had like your confirmation, then now you can enter the market. So you can imagine if you had entered the market around this zone over here, because this was a change of character. Yeah, a change of character. So let's say, because yeah, it was a change of character, you can see like the market was on a downward trend, it came to this level, you saw like some resistance. Yeah, came down again, tested, and then this was the new high, and then it went down only to come back up, and then it took out this zone, it created another change of character, right? So instead of it came down, instead of creating like the break of structure or stuff like that, we noticed that it came down and literally decided to move down on a downward trend. So we had this change of character over here. You see, like, so this is now, this kind of gives like the best example. Yeah, change of character over here. This was the lowest zone. After this level was tested, the market came up, came down, and you can see coming down like this one was lower than this level, so it came right up to test a certain zone, and you can see like it continued moving to the downside. So over here you can see these are the daily highs, daily week lows, and weekly highs, daily lows, stuff like that. So these analysis will show you some of the points where we have like a weak low and a strong week. Yeah, so whenever you see like the market has touched this zone where there is a weak low, you will see like a push to the upside. And what that means is that this, whenever there is a weak low or a weak high, like weak, it's weak, not the week number of days, week for tired. Yeah, I'm weak, I'm tired, something of the sort. It's not a strong low, literally. So you will notice that the market will come here and you can still have like some push to the upside, but that shows that this zone over here can easily be taken out. Yeah, it can be taken out. So this is the daily highs and the daily lows. And also guys, you can always trade these highs and the lows, because you can, whenever you see like the market doing this, there is a chance of it actually moving up to this level. And guys, if you are here, then this was one of the levels that we had marked, that if the market was going to collect some of the orders, it will come back to this level. That is if it's going to break out of this zone, then this will be the zone that I'll be looking out for. But if it's going to break out to the downside, then this is still my zone. Yeah, so this is one of the indicators. I like combining it with this one. Yeah, so one thing I love about the smart money concept expo, yeah, this one will give you like this tube, and you can use it to follow like the movement in the market. And actually you'll notice that once you get to this point, the blue up point, there will be like some sort of resistance. If you break out of that zone, you can still push to this level and you'll feel like some resistance and then push to the upside. But if the resistance is strong enough, you'll be able to see the market moving to the downside. Yeah, so these are my zones, and you can see like the X points, the X and X, those are some of the entry points. It gives you like the best entry points, stuff like that. So don't be confused. The red X does not mean that you need to sell, and the green one does not mean that you need to buy. Just indicates the X, the sell, or the X that is red indicates that you need to buy, and the X that is green indicates that you need to sell. So this is something that you can literally change in your settings. You can just come to your settings and change the colors of the X if they're going to confuse you. So this is one of the indicators that I use, and so far so good. I can't literally complain because they kind of help you. If you don't like even drawing these structures and stuff like that, they're drawing it for you. It kind of draws it for you, because let me just remove all the drawings. Yeah, let me remove these drawings, but I'll leave the trend lines, because now that one you'll have to draw it on your own. Just, yeah, so you can see like it has marked this as the lower low. You can see lower low. You don't have to mark it again. You can see this level is the BMS. This is the break of market structure. We have the chalk over here, so you don't have to draw it. The EQL, that is the equal level. This shows like the equal level zone. Yeah, and we also have the fair gaps. Those who like trading the fair gaps, you can also get it. You can just come to your settings. Let's say this is the settings. This is the settings. You can come. Do we have this here, or do we have it on the other one? Just let me check the one with the fair gap. FV. Yeah, you can see we have the fair value gaps. You can just click on it, and then you can come here and change the colors, make it suitable to you. And yeah, you can just play with the settings literally. You can also mark some of the premium and discount zones. It will always mark it for you. You can see like I've just clicked on that, and you can see we have the equilibrium, and when you go down, you'll notice like you can see like these drawings over here, and it goes down. So based on the history and the present, it will give you some of the points that you need to note. And you can see over here 93 is a very strong high, so whenever the market comes to this point, you'll always see like some resistance to the downside. Just try and make it as simple. You can see we also have like this point over here, equilibrium, the premium zone. This is one of the premium zone, which is also the strong zone, where they've actually marked as one of the zones where the market, once the market gets to this point, you'll see like some push to the downside. And you'll also get a premium zone at the bottom. They always call it the discount. You can see the discount. Yeah, so here you will see like some orders, see some push to the upside. that one same. So this is one of the best indicators that one can actually combine and use. And once you have these, you can also, you don't need like a lot of indicators, but if you get a chance, just add them. And if you don't like those lines, you can just remove it by just clicking on that, and you're good to go. You can see we don't have that line, but now we can see these orders on the candlestick, these ones, these orders over here. So if you can combine that and also combine like the wicks, pay attention to the wicks and some of the zones. Let's say if you notice like a specific zone, let's say let me just try and mark like 2 zones. Let's say we have these 2 zones over here. You notice that every time the market comes to the upside like this, or even down, comes up, okay, it was supposed to move to the downside. So let me just so I'm just going to use the bottom here. So let's say you notice that the market comes to this point and it forms like some wicks, this type of candlesticks, like a lot of it. Every time it comes here, it leaves like the body closes, but it has like a longer wick as compared to the bodies, or just the wicks are just longer every time it touches a specific zone. You need to be careful. You need to be looking for some reversals around that zone, because that shows that the market was coming to take some liquidity. So it's like a liquidity grab whenever you see those kind of candlesticks. I don't know if I can get like a market. Our DGPY doesn't really have that a lot, but let me see if I can find a zone. I don't know if I can find. There was a market that I was looking at. I can't remember which market I was analyzing, that had like a lot of wicks at the bottom, a lot of liquidity. Was it gold? Can't remember. Even here you can see like the market coming down, testing the zone, coming back, testing the zone. You see like it pushes up. So over here you also notice it's grabbing the zones, but I told you guys that this is one of the strongest highs. So obviously at this point you have to start looking for some sell positions, yeah, with this premium. So if you're that person who doesn't really know how to trade these breakouts using the trend lines and stuff like that, then this was a clear indication. See, coming down. It's some people call this candlestick like a 38% candlestick. It most of the time it will be used to collect or even to grab liquidity in the market. So most of the people tend to fall for this trap, and they end up blowing their accounts or even losing money or entering the wrong trade. So whenever the market is at these zones, these support and resistance zones, and especially like a strong high or a strong wick, you need to be cautious whenever you're entering that market, because what's happening there is there will be some liquidity grabs, and once the market is done collecting those grabs, then it will proceed to a different direction. So that is what literally happens with the market. So guys, I think I've just exhausted a few things that needs to be done. I think I've taught like a lot. I'm not a good teacher, but I think I've tried. I'm not a good teacher at all, but I've tried basically. But if you really want to understand Forex in a different way or a different dimension, I'll advise that you start paying attention to just try and analyze the market in a very simple way that you can understand it. All these the supply and demand, support and resistance, all these change of characters, BMS, they might confuse you as a beginner trader, but you can just pay attention on these little things. Just try and understand it on your own way by just analyzing the charts. The market requires you to be very keen so that you don't miss out. Find the best candlestick that work, the best indicators that work for you. If you're that person who relies on the candlestick to show the reversal patterns, always pay attention on the position where the candlestick is taking or is forming a reversal candlestick, is forming a bullish candlestick, is forming a bearish candlestick, is forming. Always ensure that it's within the support and resistance zones, or some of the key points where you've seen like the market having like a reversal, stuff like that. Then you'll have your chances, there will be like high chances of you making profits in the market. But if you just want to assume that this candlestick indicates like a reversal, and even when it's not within a specific zone, then you might end up losing money. Then your stop loss, always learn to use your stop loss correctly. And I was forgetting something, guys. I don't want to forget this. Let me just do this. So let's say you enter a long market around this zone over here. So let's say this is our target around here. We are assuming, so let's say that this is our target. You've entered the market. Always ensure that your stop loss, there are people who will enter the market and they will have their stop loss around this zone over here, and their profits around this zone over here. That is bad. This is bad because you're willing to lose 3/4 of your account in order to make a quarter of profits. It doesn't really make sense. You're willing to lose 3/4 of your account to make a quarter profit. Should it be that way? It should be. So let's say this is the trend. You can just have it below there, or you can use this simple strategy because this is a 4 hours time frame. Let's say that you've entered the market around this zone over here. Around this zone over here. You can just put your stop loss below, just below the candlestick, that the previous candlestick. This is a 4 hours time frame, so that is a lot. This is clearly a lot. So for the market to come down and hit this point over here and then decides to move up, it will be it will have taken, like, there will be like a reversal or something of the sort, because the market is right here right now. So another thing that I need to include, if you are trading, you've entered the market around this point, I want to assume like at this point right now you're in profits, because you entered at around 86,409, 86,400, and the market right now is at 86,600, no, 86,800, So I will suggest that once you've actually made like your profits, your charts are blue, the position you took, you are in profit, try and remove your stop loss from this zone and put it above your buying position. If you are taking like a sell position, ensure that now you take it above the sell position, put it below, to ensure that just in case something happens in the market, if the market decides to reverse, it will come, and instead of going down, passing your market entry and going down and hitting your stop loss, it will hit your stop loss that is above your buys, meaning it will close that position in profits. It will close that position in profits. But if you wait, because I know you've seen these memes where somebody entered the market, chose in profits, he took like a position around this zone over here. Around this zone, the market decided to move towards a direction. You can see like something of this sort. Then something happens. Let's say there is a new that actually comes out and this happens. Yeah, remember the stop loss was around the stop loss was around this zone. Let's assume it was around this zone. So you notice that the market comes right back, and the account that was actually in profits, you can see like this person already made profits up to this point. The market decides to reverse and it comes and hits the stop loss. So this is a bad move. So whenever you see like you've entered the market and you're already in profits, yeah, you're already in profits, you can move this stop loss now from below to above your buys. Yeah, so as the market keeps moving upwards, you can wait and mark some of the key. Like if it was a trending market, you know that if there is a retest, it might come down to around this zone over here, where there will be a break of structure, or lower than that. So you have to estimate just to be sure, so that they don't eat your stop loss while the market is still headed towards your take profits. So whether you're using stop loss or take profit, ensure that you're using both of them. Even though you're moving with the stop loss, ensure that your take profit is at the key point. Yeah, so that will help you. Like if you notice that maybe you entered the market and let's say this point was your take profit, yeah, but then you notice that the kind of movement of the candlestick is a bit stronger. There is high chances of it actually breaking out and even moving higher than your take profit. You can move your take profit higher and move with your stop loss higher, so that you don't lose. Yeah, and so that you can also take advantage of the opportunities that are in the market. So trading, that does not really mean that you are greedy. At times you need to see, whenever you see an opportunity as a trader, you need to grab it, because they don't always come every single day. But if you see an opportunity, you can grab it, but you have to be cautious. Move with your stop loss. Ensure that you can move your take profits whenever you see an opportunity. But if you're not sure about the opportunities, if the market is going to move higher than that, or you're that person who wants just the market to get to that point and you call it a day, you can decide and just let it come to that point, but ensure that you move with your stop loss. So guys, that's it for today. I hope that this video really helped. If it didn't, let me know what you really want me to cover. This was just something basic, and yeah. So if you're a new, let me just, before I can go, if you're a new if you're a beginner trader and you don't have a mentor, you don't know where to get the articles to read, you can come to this Telegram page. It's tradinghub.za. I will copy this link. I noticed that I forgot to paste it. I'll copy it and paste it there, and yeah, I'll just paste it there, and you guys can come here, look for any document that you want. If you want to learn about the ICT strategies, they have them here. If you want to learn about the FX GOT strategies, they have it here. You can see like all these. You can come and download and go and learn about it. If you want to learn the strategies for Stacy pigmentation, and you can see just Stacy, she's the only Stacy literally we know of. So these ones, you can just copy these, download them and watch them. Just try and learn as much as possible, because Forex requires you to learn a lot. So just try that. I hope that this video really helped. I'll just put the link in the description, and yeah, so that's it guys, until next time.